What's up, guys? Viper FPV here, and today we're going to be looking at another FPV drone simulator. This time it's going to be FPV Freerider Recharged. Why am I not looking at FPV Freerider the original? Because I've played both, and they're pretty much exactly the same. FPV Freerider Recharged has some other little tweaks and changes done to it to make it a little bit better than the original one. But let's go ahead and dive into FPV Freerider Recharged and show you what my thoughts are. Alright guys, we're in FPV Freerider Recharged, and just right off the bat, I just wanted to show you this is the main screen. Right here on the left we have the graphic quality, and one good thing about this game is if you are using this on an older system or even a laptop that doesn't have a graphics card or anything like that, you can play this probably on the lowest setting. So especially if you're just getting into FPV, you're not sure if this is going to be something you want to do, or you see somebody else flying a drone and you kind of want to practice yourself before you get yourself your own setup. Go ahead and you can play it on your lowest setting and kind of get a feel for what the sticks are. So these are the five maps right here that you have, and then you have custom levels where you can make your own maps. And then right here you have your input, and then you have your controller calibration right there, and then you have your custom settings here. And this is kind of where I have my settings, and I could probably still fine-tune them a lot more to get that better feel for how it's flying, but I feel like this is good enough for now. Another thing you don't notice is it doesn't have beta flight rates, doesn't have any expo, doesn't have any of those really cool features that we are used to in like Velocidrone, Liftoff, and DRL. And another also thing I had a problem with is also you have to calibrate your controller. If I click on this, you'll notice that there is these little stick things. This is not really that big of a problem. The big problem is if you have a Taranis, you have to set up your resolution on your sticks to only use half the resolution. So when you go from, if you just set it up the regular way, you only have half resolution. So like no throttle, and then you go high throttle, it'll be like instant, you have like instant power. Like there's no in between. So you do have to set those up on your Taranis, and they do have guides. If you do click on the FPV Freerider tutorials, it will show you how to set up your Taranis to work with this simulator. So let me go ahead and skip this, and I'm just going to go ahead and go right into a level. And I'm just going to go ahead and go kind of high real fast to show you guys pretty much the magnitude of the level. It's not very big when you compare it to other simulators. And right off the bat, when you start flying, it doesn't, since you don't have that expo and you can't really fine-tune how it feels, it does have a different feeling than what it does with other simulators, even flying in real life. I really don't like it. So let me go ahead and start. Now right here on the right, you have where you can, set up a race or whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and hit race, time race, there we go. So now it's going to go ahead and do a race, and it's kind of like how Liftoff with Freerider is, where it has, where you set up your, not set up, but you follow kind of like the markers, and you kind of go around the track. It's not as clear as day as like, they are though. But it is something, I think this simulator is $5 or $10. The original one's $5. This one's $10, and the only really difference between the original one and this one is that the graphics look better when you have it on the highest setting. So a lot of people that really won't matter, and I really wouldn't recommend buying this just to have the prettier graphics, because really what you're probably going to be buying this for is you're just starting off, and you just want to kind of learn, roll, pitch, yaw, and throttle control. So that's really what I can really say, what's good and bad about the simulator at this point. And then we also have the forest, which I'm going to kind of go through all the levels to kind of show you. It's really going to kind of go high and show you how big they are. This is probably one of the biggest, or maybe, you got to consider all the trees and everything too. So I probably would say this is probably the biggest map on the actual game. And then we also have the factory, which this is kind of lackluster because you have a little factory here. I'm going to kind of turn around, not crash. There you go. And factory is right there. You can kind of fly around there, but this is pretty much the level. Not really much to it, you know. And then kind of going over to the rocks, which is kind of like forest, but with no trees. Just pretty much like a little canyon. You can kind of just fly around different, you know, formations or whatnot. And then we have the car park. And that is right here. See if I can get out of here so you can kind of get the same. It's kind of about the same size as the other ones, but you do have different levels, as you see. You can kind of, yeah, and there's a dead end right there. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, you know, the levels there. But, you know, for, you know, having only spent $5 or $10, I think the Free Rider Recharge $10, Free Rider, the original one, is $5. It's up to you what you want to spend it on, or if you even want to buy it at all, especially when you can get Velocidrone for, I think, for like 17 or 20 bucks, and Liftoff's like 17 or 20 bucks as well. And then DRL is right there with you. So this is pretty much the review of the FPV Free Rider Recharged. This probably also will apply to FPV Free Rider because it's pretty much exactly the same game, but with updated graphics. So if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. I'm going to be probably doing another review on the GTA 5 mod where you can fly FPV in the entire Grand Theft Auto, I guess, world. So that'll be pretty neat to show you guys. So go ahead and like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.